I am Murayo Afolabi, and as always, I have my co-host here. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Murayo.
Nima, I kind of have an idea what you're going to say. How you doing?
I'm so sleepy. Do you have an idea?
Yes, we all
because
have an idea.
you're macroning away.
I'm running away. It was a privilege, thanks to YK, to be able to see the president of another country, even though we've not seen our own. Touch his hand. He offered his hand, and I was, I usually don't shake a male's hand, and he took my hand, and so it was very soft.
It was nice.
Very, very nice. It was so simple. He moved into the crowd. We had the opportunity to take a selfie, and I was like, president. I'm still saying it to I told my daughter this morning, I saw the president of France, and she was like, is it President Buhari? I don't know, when I come back, we'll talk about it.
It was fun yesterday. It was great. It was great to hang out.
We all had fun.
I just have to once again congratulate YK and the fella Anekola Kokuti estate. Well done. 20 years of running the shrine on their own without support or anything. Now the world will know about the Africa shrine because the president of France was there. Congratulations, YK.
Likely more presidents are likely to come.
Yes.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts, and so, and I totally echo what Jumoke said. It's consistency is great.
It's
she was, the entire family were there, and they kept on the Fela flag. They didn't let it die. They kept burning it, and they kept, increasing that flame. And we thank God that everybody is now identifying with Fela and Anekola Kokuti. Sorry?
I had the opportunity to meet Governor Bonde finally. I've not met him personally.
Twice
so
on
YK
the
said,
show.
Nima, you greet the governor. So I went to greet the governor.
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing so
She went to the shrine for the first time yesterday.
Yes,
she and Mariam had fun.
And we had people beside us who was just buying us drinks, and we had fun.
Welcome to the club.
But the highlight for me was when Macron was speaking, and he said that Nigeria needs a new narrative. We need to talk about our culture to the outside world. It's what we show them, that's what they'll see. And this is somebody coming to tell us that we should be proud of our cultural heritage. I don't know what we're looking for. So I just, for the show, I had this hair done because I really wanted to look African. I hope I'm looking African, guys.
He acknowledged the narrative out there. That listen, yes, we hear all these things, the negative, and we hear the positive. But it's our responsibility to actively change that, to tell people what the truth is about Africa. And it was really interesting to just see a different person's perspective on us. And it was fun to just be on culture.
May I say, where he is coming from, it's easy to be seeing culture. Well, if I'm going on holiday to Dubai or South Africa, I'll be seeing their culture, not their problems also. Nigerians have the culture, we know it, but in the midst of hunger, you will not see the culture.
Right. And we do. So in response to that, he also said that the international community cannot fix our problems. We have to fix our problems. So we have to find an African solution to our own problems, which is great. So we can get help, but it doesn't mean that they'll be the ones being imposed or telling us what to do. We need to find our solutions. So it was just fun.
We need to start with the African Education Fest.
It was a fun night.
Let's just know who we are.
It was a fun night. It was a fun night. Can we just dwell on the fun part?
Yeah, it was a fun night.
Oh, cool. Nice. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, it's Wednesday. We have a lot to talk about. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Wow. Our papers is ever increasing. Like, I don't understand.
You missed Nations, so they put it back.
Yeah, Nations finally showed up. Okay, let's start with the punch. National Assembly backs state police as gunmen kill 7 cops in Abuja. France can't fix Africa's problems, says Macron. DSS arrests Ikiti officials for collecting teachers' PVCs. I knew of my father's kidnap before Argentina match, says Mikel. And speeding car kills 3 teachers in Ogun. I will support Igbo presidency at the right time. Again, Shoyinka attacks Obasanjo in the new book, 21 Kings. Respect rule of law, Olubadan tells Ajimobi. Okay, let's start, as usual, let's start with the human interest story in
So
in
I have
Punch.
the Mikel story. Just before the Argentina match, he was called that his father was kidnapped. a family member actually called him and gave him a designated number to call the kidnappers. When he called them, they said he had to pay a ransom, that his father was kidnapped.
Right before that match.
Right before the match. So my pain here is the fact that this is somebody who is representing our country. And because of greed, people want to make money out of that young boy. How do they expect him to concentrate on that match? Though he didn't tell anybody, he was threatened that if he had spoken a word to anybody, they will kill his father. Finally, the man has been released, though he's taking treatment because he was really tortured.
Yeah.
It's unfair.
I just heard somebody in the audience say, because he's a man, we actually need to kind of stop that narrative. He's a human being. When somebody dies, you need to grieve. It's not about being a man or not. Let's find a way to move away from that narrative. But that's a different topic. But yeah, I'm happy that
He's been released.
He's been released, right?
Yes,
he's been released, right?
there
There was another story about a car killing 3 teachers in Ogun. Is that
yes, a car was on the express, Abeokuta, and his front tire, the front tire of the car, pulled out. He ran into 3 teachers who were just on their way back from school. So right now, 3 of them died. Actually 4, 1 terribly injured. He's in the hospital at the moment.
Who takes responsibility for their death?
So we're talking about the tanker driver the other day, the tanker owners. In this situation, we are responsible. Private people are also. Yes, now. Let's move on to the nation. Police name Plateau Benue killing suspects. 7 policemen die in battle with bandits. Olubadan to government, respect chieftaincy law. Boko Haram boy, I made explosive for bombers. Nigeria, France signed pact on $475 million projects. Okay, so we have some names now on the suspects for those who killed almost over 84 people in Plateau State. At least, I saw the names, they listed some of the names, and hopefully there's still more suspects. So hopefully, I think we thank God that we're seeing some kind of response from the part of the police.
But who also have names of victims. I saw some pictures, one reverend and his wife. Right. You know, very sad story.
What was the story of the police that were killed in Abuja? Nobody read that story?
Okay, so somewhere in Cuba, there was a police patrol that was, faced by criminals, and there was a shootout. 7 of them were gunned down. Police is saying that not all the policemen on that patrol were killed, but they've not disclosed the number of them. Just said, 7 of them were gunned down, and there's a manhunt for the guys that got killed.
They're also counting how many policemen have been killed in recent times in different parts of Nigeria. So we need to secure the police.
As well.
This is Nigeria.
Moving on now to Vanguard. Somebody died. I don't think it's something we should actually laugh about. People are dying, so it's really not funny.
Moving on to the departed, rest in peace.
Yes. Vanguard, giving land for ranching better than death. Says presidency. As being alive is better than ancestral attachment to land. Dogara says history would judge us harshly if killings persist. And Khan says insecurity threatens 2019 elections. Now, the writers here, Igbo political future rests on my re-election.
Hey!
I think I have that story. Gunmen kill 7 policemen, 1 civilian in Abuja as FCT police launch manhunt for killers. Senate to amend constitution for state police and will arrest leadership of Miyetti Allah if, says military. 3 stories we have to take here. Let's take the major headline first.
So, presidential spokesperson Femi Adesina, while responding to reporters on the killings in Plateau State and ancestral land, was saying that it's better to have colonies for the herders to feed their cattle than people being killed.
Right.
And when the reporter said, but these people have ancestral attachment to their land, he said, and I quote, ancestral attachment? You can only have ancestral attachment when you are alive. If you are talking about ancestral attachment, if you are dead, how does the attachment matter? Oga Femi Adesina. Come on!
May I rebut?
Yes, please, respond to that.
Because I actually saw this headline, so it made me read through the entire article. And I think what he was saying, let me quote him quickly, he said, what is happening is criminality, pure and simple. It must be brought to an end. Okay. Government has a big role to play in this, but the people themselves have a role to play too. Insisting, like I always said, this is a menace.
Right.
And once we cannot separate emotional attachment, we can't face this issue.
Right.
Grazing, open grazing is what brought us here.
Right.
And we're saying, put them in a ranch, put them in a place so we can separate headsmen from criminals.
Okay.
So somebody,
I don't want to go deep because
this
issue is actually pretty sensitive, and
it is very sensitive.
There are two sides of the story. So you know what? I think what we all agree on is that whoever is going to be the spokesperson for the presidency must choose their words carefully.
Yeah.
There's certain ways you say something that comes across as insensitive, and certain ways you say something that comes across as though, yes, you are actually on top of things.
I'd love to take another quote from the article, but...
As much as I
Let's take another story. Let's move on to another story. I don't want to argue it because it is quite sensitive. The other story I wanted to tell was the Igbo political future rest on my re-election since Buhari. I felt that also was somewhat kind of funny because I would like to quote the SGF, who was representing our president at the rally. Unfortunately, our president had to meet with Macron, so he couldn't be at the rally in Owerri. But let me quote him. He says that, this is just talking, says that, let me say this. 2019 is an election that will make or mar the chances of Igbo in Nigeria. I'm not sure. I don't understand what that is.
I don't even get it.
So that in it.
So
So if people just need to choose their words carefully. There's certain statements you say and you're
We
wondering.
don't
But I
just
think our
need to
leaders should
choose
know
our words.
better.
We need to feel and believe in our words. It seems unfairness
Right.
has come as find a place within our community.
Right.
We don't know how to find the balance. And some people will say, look for competence rather than look. Until we've
Right.
answered certain agitations,
Right.
we can then come together and look at this new restructuring issue.
Exactly.
If we don't give Igbo a presidency, restructuring might not really
Oh,
work.
our president does agree that
We need to
Igbos
look at
deserve
it
the presidency, but he's
and
saying that
start to
when the
discuss
time
it.
comes, he will support the Igbo
after him
presidency.
in 2019.
Okay, but let's move on.
We
So,
will find out in 2019.
let's just
Well,
move on.
We will find out.
Okay, let's move on now. Let's move on. So we'll just say what the paper said. We're not discussing it. We'll move on to Daily Sun. Protesters stormed National Assembly. They were sponsored by governors and ministers, says Saraki. Picture here, crowd at the Southeast APC mega rally tagged Southeast for Buhari. APC government will make education free in Abia, says Kalu. You heard it before, right? Benue killings, police parade 8 suspects. Gunmen kill 7 policemen in Abuja, and IPOP charges army to produce Kanu. Let's talk about the protesters storming National Assembly. They were actually protesting. Who was that story?
So they were protesting that
Dogara
and Saraki that
But
their
they-
National Assembly, the National Assembly, 8th National Assembly that they're leading, that they padded the 2018 budgets. That's what their placard said. But I saw an interview with 2 of them.
No, in addition, another thing, one of the other reasons why they were protesting was they wanted them to scrap the constituency project that has become a conduit pipe for corruption.
So that's the padding they were talking about is actually constituency projects,
right.
You know, and people were saying that we know who is against constituency project. It was the president who frowned at it. 2 of them were interviewed. Sir, why are you here? Says, we have come to protest what is happening in Nigeria now. They said, who brought you? Say, some guy from our area. How much were you paid? One said 1,000. The other said 1,500. So,
So
I
let me
don't
now
know.
say what Saraki said. So Saraki says these guys were, people that were sponsored by some aggrieved governors and ministers, and I know them. So he knows.
Okay, well, again, let's separate the messenger from the message. What they're protesting, is it something that we're all
If you don't
against?
believe in it, why are you protesting it?
So
That's
I
the problem.
have a question also.
What's the message if
If
you don't
the
believe in
budget
it?
was padded,
Right.
right, on behalf of National Assembly, their own defense is that this constituency project, they don't give us the money. We just say what our communities want, and it's for the executive to go and execute.
Right.
But how much is in 2018 budget for barbing of the president's hair? Do you know?
Moving on to Telegraph.
Oh, I had a story here.
Let's rush
the
that.
the IPOB people are coming out to say.
Move on. We have to move on. Let me just read very quickly. New Telegraph. We don't have any more time.
Okay.
52 Plateau villages under headsman control, says reps. I learned of my dad's abduction hours before Eagles and Argentina match, says Mikel Obi. And that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, buy Nigeria, but at what cost? And later, we discuss curbing suicide. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
So, thanks for staying with us. So we hear that there's some first-timers amongst us. So I need any first-timers, please wave so they'll say hello to you. Any first-timers here? Please wave to the camera. Hey! Thanks for coming. So remember, we're not paying anybody to be here. Just come. These people love the show. They're here because they love the show. So just come early on Wednesday. You can get a seat. Now, moving on to our hot topic. There are some people that would choose indigenous products anytime, even if they fall within the same price range with foreign ones. Those are patriots, Nigerians. Also, many patronize foreign products, even if they are 3 times more expensive. Recently, there was a trending question online asking if one would rather buy an item from a friend or family to support their business, which is Nigerian indigenous, or would you rather get it a foreign, cheaper version of it? What are your thoughts on this? Give us your view and call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. This issue came because everybody's saying buy Nigeria, wear Nigeria, eat Nigeria.
Wow.
And you want to buy a lovely...
A cheeky thought just came to my mind. You see, our #1 citizen, who is supposed to be the proponent
Don't politicize
of buy
this.
Nigeria.
Don't politicize this matter, please.
Guess what?
Let's stick to the matter, please.
Guess what?
No.
He's buying London hospitals.
Okay. Let's come back to the issue.
Oh my goodness.
So we have, they say buy Nigeria, eat Nigeria, wear Nigeria. Please let me stick to the brief. So we buy a Nigerian-made bag. They charge you 25,000, 20,000 for a nicely done bag. You know, they say snake skin, the old kiniko. And then you go to Chinatown. You see something similar, like maybe 2,500, 3,000 naira. So how do we reconcile buying Nigeria and also buying cheap and also buying Nigeria? How do we reconcile? In your view, have you experienced this before? Okay. And how have you made your choices? Let me come to you.
Okay, I started very early in my life. I learned the Yoruba principle, Akingbowo ile losita.
What does that mean?
It means that we don't spend money within, we don't spend it outside.
Okay.
So I have adopted that principle in life.
Even if it's expensive?
Whatever is Nigerian. I remember sticking to the Glow line because I felt this was the first Nigerian brand. Even though I still have problems with them, I've not changed that number all my life. It's just that Nigerian thing for me. So I will buy anything Nigerian and I will stick to it. And amazingly, in 2015, when I decided never to eat foreign rice, I did myself a big favor. 93% of the rice imported into this country are expired rice from Thailand because they've been stored for years. And when it's getting close to when they will dispose, they will boil and bag and bring to us to eat.
It tastes good, Chad. No.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Wow, all right. Wow, all right. Eat it, cheap, anything. But I remember back then, lake rice had not even started when I had to send money home for them to farm, harvest rice from my village and bag for me. As expensive as it was, I stuck to it and lake rice started. Amazing rice.
Fantastic.
Let me just give you feedback
like
on this your rice then. Twice in the last 2 weeks, I ate of other rice and both times I ate stone. And I said never, never again. So
you are not going the extra mile.
The good one came on our show and he gave us 1 kg of rice, 1,000 naira. Will I be buying 50 kg of rice at 50,000 naira?
A bag, 50 kg of lake rice is 12,000.
Why do people buy imported rice? It's because it's cheaper than the local rice.
I just gave you facts now.
1 second.
That you're eating expired food.
Congratulations on the cheaper. I think the thing for us here is to move our economy forward. Now we should stop paying lip service to just patronizing ourselves. I think for me, we should take a radical approach. Everything that should be banned should be banned. We should stop importing. Let me tell you 3 things it will do for us. When we stop importing, we will have no choice because right now we have an alternative. You know that you have a foreign good. We will have no choice, and so we stick to our product. The manufacturers will have no choice than to make a better product for us.
Let me bring it this way. Is it a difficult thing to do because we've almost tasted the foreign options? You know, it's almost as if, let me give an option. You've exposed Nigerians to cable TV. Right? You said, we are now watching all sorts of channels on cable. We are seeing all this. And suddenly now we're saying, stop patronizing
Maya,
cable. Start watching only local TV. I mean, so how do you change? The minds are already exposed. The minds are already out there exposed to international content.
So
what
we want as a nation.
In terms of international content, when the NBC banned made the regulation of 70% local content, more Nigerian musicians started to go into the studio to produce songs. Today, Nigeria has gone to the international world. So sometimes it will help.
Most times.
But let me say, I go into the supermarket and quality first. I don't look if it is from China or Nigeria. Quality first. Can I afford it? Second. So for instance, let me use the example of my shower gel. I've been using it several times before I realized that it's actually made in Nigeria. The brand is international, but a Nigerian got the franchise and was manufacturing here. And I'd enjoyed it. I don't itch when I have my bath and all of that. If I had noticed it was Nigerian, I may not have bought the first bottle, but it was good quality. So we do have good quality things here. I would buy them readily.
Okay, but let us ask ourselves a question as a nation. What do we want? That's it for me.
Oh yeah, tell us what you want.
Do we want to grow?
Tell us.
When you have options now, when you get into the marketplace, you find out that because we have these importations, it's difficult for the local people to meet up.
That's not.
No. In terms of,
I disagree.
In terms of the products here, the materials for production is very expensive here.
Let me tell you why it is difficult to meet up.
You're comparing them to people who buy from China, who buy in
bulk. Let me tell you why it is difficult to meet up. Number one, power. I'm using generator. The Chinese look, we supply Ghana fuel for their power. They have 24 hours power. So it's easier for a Nigerian company to even go and manufacture in Ghana than in Nigeria.
We have to start from somewhere.
When our president said we should tighten our belts, is that what JuLY is saying? That
is it.
Let's sacrifice.
How much does he need to cut his hair again?
We need to sacrifice if we want to go forward. Yes,
let the president take care of himself. With the wide range of health issues we have no reason to think are Nigerian originated here, I think we should be careful everything foreign that we adopt.
Yes.
Back in the university, when there was no packaged black soap for me to buy, I used to buy my own from the Alagbo and mix it with my honey and my ori, I put it on me because I don't want to have skin issues.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be packaged, but today there are a wide range of Nigerian products and we have a question of quality. Have you tried them till you find one that suits you?
You're talking about choice.
No, it is the Nigerianness in you that will make you insist.
No.
Your product.
I disagree. It's my choice. It's my choice to use. The only body lotion that I use is coconut oil and castor oil. It's a choice because it's better for my skin. Hold on. It's better for my skin. So why would I go and use chemicals? It's a choice for all of us to go natural because the chemicals are bad for our skin.
But it's a choice for us to support Nigeria and believe Nigeria.
I will support Nigeria.
Support Nigeria and believe.
At what cost?
Exactly.
At what cost? One at a time. I can't hear anybody anymore.
At whatever cost till we get ourselves to that world place. On this couch, we had a young Nigerian selling Zobo abroad.
And I take it.
The same Zobo we look down on here. But
we don't look down on it, so. No, we don't look down on Zobo.
Okay, wait.
Without,
one second.
we made the Zobo are still here.
Supporting our products will make our manufacturers here to compete amongst themselves. Let's take, for instance, toothpick. We import toothpick into this place. Now,
we ban broom.
Hold on. We ban that toothpick, and the restaurants find that we don't have toothpicks anymore. Young people will think on how to produce it. Even if they make mistakes 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, they will get it right.
Let me take this call from Enugu. Thanks for calling. Hello, are you there?
Okay, good morning.
Morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Auntie James I think she just made mention of the world, how the whole thing boils down. I think it boils down to power.
Yeah.
The government has not been able to fix power for how many years? And start producing something in this country.
Well, Dangote is still a millionaire in Nigeria.
Market to buy it. The person producing will tell you, I use generator. Just go to ordinary Abaze. You want to go and buy all those that are made in Abaze.
Just do power for us.
How much are you going to spend?
Oh.
ordinary Nigerians, I was hearing about a debate last time. These Nigerian jets we went to make in China, people were claiming our boys could make this by going to waste money. The one we bought here, we went to play ball. I went to practice on the field. Somebody dragged my shirt. It tore down.
The foreign one would say if they drag it well.
I was almost naked.
Okay, point
May I
taken.
jump on this? My final thought on it is that even the government, who are supposed to stimulate the economy, we bring in German expatriates, we bring in Chinese expatriates. Our education is not even geared. Listen, I have a master's in mass communication. My newspaper production course was in 2 weeks. If you want to open a newspaper production house, it's not Jumoke you are going to employ because my education is half-baked.
Okay.
So let the government, so you have to put your money where your mouth is. Just even give us power and see the magic Nigerians will perform.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. So for me, I would like to say that we need to know what we want as a nation. Right. That's number one. Secondly, by the time people are making money here, even everybody's complaining there's no lights, there's no power, and we are building millionaires in this country. People are running generators to make money here. Okay. So we need to know what we want as a nation.
Please do your part to grow this economy. Stop waiting for government. Start from your small quarter of your house.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree. Government is you and I. We have to go on a break, unfortunately. But imagine if Zobo was packed like that, so the pack the kids take to school.
Yeah.
That would have been really nice. But unfortunately, power is always an issue to get that done.
It's not power. We have
Let's go on a break.
Jen, if you who manufactures
it doesn't matter.
And come back. We discuss curbing suicide in Nigeria. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. As the saying goes, death is not avoidable, but suicide is. According to World Health Organization, more than 800,000 people die by suicide every year and around one person every 40 seconds. Also, some 75% of suicides occur in low and middle income countries. Joining us on the show is the founder, Live and Not Die, Mr. Kunle Pelemo. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Now, we've heard of suicide attempts, people actually committing suicide in Lagos, jumping over the lagoon, people hanging themselves,
jumping into the well.
Even not too far from us, a kid here, within us here, actually committed suicide. And my first question is, why does this seem so rampant these days? Is it because we're media, or why do we hear so much of suicide attempts and suicides these days?
Yeah. Now, let me start by saying that suicide is a global issue.
Okay.
And it is not just starting in Nigeria now, but it's becoming rampant, and it's as a result of a host of things. But have you heard the comedians way back make jokes that no matter how hard it is, Nigerians don't commit suicide. Africans don't commit suicide. But we have gotten to a point called the breaking point. And that's why we are seeing it right now, and it's becoming obvious. Imagine an elastic material that you stretch beyond its elastic limit.
Snap.
What will happen? It will get to that point that it will not return to its original state. We have been holding on all this while, and the hardship continues. We've been hearing that we're out of recession, but recession is still in us. You still see it written all over people. People have gotten to that point that they are now walking out of their problem in tantrum. They are now resolving to taking their lives.
But if we look at the root of these problems, most of them are either family issues, financial issues. It's usually between those two things, money or family issues. Aren't these things resolvable? I mean, must it come to suicide?
Yeah, that's the mindset. When you begin to see options, when you are pushed to that extent that you begin to now see another options that I cannot get out of this problem any longer, then is this how we are going to stay? You have a whole lot of people that will definitely, will tell you that they have been managing for a long time, and they think that since what they are going through cannot change, then the next thing for them is to take their lives.
The scenarios you create for me are scenarios of mentally sane people.
Yeah.
So largely, most people who commit suicide are depressed people who have mental issues who should be dealt with medically. And you know, the community, the life we live here, we don't consider mental issues as seriously as is dealt with outside the country. There are medical conditions maintained and treated. We don't have those facilities here.
Yeah.
So how, most likely, how does your NGO, for instance, you know, try to sensitize the people around to understand mental issues separate from, you know, from breaking points issues like you've experienced?
Yeah, basically, like I said, that there are a lot of issues. We have mental issues, psychological issues, emotional issues, financial issues, all these issues put in together. So what we are trying to do is we're trying to create what we call the 4 cardinal points that we will use in curbing the issue. Number 1, research. Number 2, information. 3, technology. And 4, support. You know, and support is key because when you don't have people. Now, do you know that most of the suicide that you have, most of the suicide cases that you have now is as a result of a gap? There is nobody to intercept. There is nobody to talk to. You have a whole lot of people who are going through a host of things. It does not matter whether they are poor or they are rich. It does not matter whether they are young or old, male or female. It's not gender biased. But there is that need for you to really reach out to some people and give them a message of hope.
Okay, so there's an adage in my place that says, "Kamanga kandoniba."
Okay.
It means the typical African man, instead of ending their life in times of trials and tribulation, they just say, we'll survive, we'll find our way through. Now, back in the days, we had issues, everybody had issues. But then because we are close-knitted, the community is there, you find a way to just struggle through your issues till you get to your destination.
Somebody will bring the arm at night.
Yes, somehow, we just find a way to help ourselves. But now, with technology, we're now seeing an increase in suicide, which came from, because in our place is a taboo. Suicide is a taboo. Now we're seeing it because it's as if we're adopting everything from the Western world. Can you say that technology has not really helped us as we think it has?
Well, what the major thing that I will talk on is mindset. You know, the truth is you can have a particular thing and it will benefit you in a different dimension. Technology is good. I was about saying that too, because what should benefit us is now drifting us apart. When you get home, you are busy with your phone. Your husband is talking to you, you are giving him one word answer.
We drive cars. We can't say because cars, you get accidents with cars. You know, you won't drive cars. So it's how you use
It's the
technology.
way you put those things to use.
Right.
And can you imagine that even these days, our children, because we cannot also forget the fact that even teenagers, they are involved in suicide acts.
Yes. Right.
You know, so that means you have to, parents also, you have a place in that. Go to your children and know what they are doing. It's not about prognosing on their issue. Check on them. Check their phones sometimes and see what, because there are suicide enhancing applications. There are some people who sat down and designed carefully how you can go through process that will to kill yourself.
Is it an issue of supply and demand? Because I saw one guest house or hotel, suicide suites, where they help you. Do you want a knife or a gun, or do you want to hang?
In Nigeria?
No, not in Nigeria. Nigerians don't die like that.
It has not gotten to that level in Nigeria.
But I wanted to say that, like you rightly mentioned, for somebody who is divorced or single, the availability of technology is what will take their minds away from, oh, I'm lonely, I want to commit suicide. So there's a good and bad part to the technology side. How do we help people who are suicidal? How do I notice there's something wrong in this person, especially if I'm always on my phone? How do I notice that my neighbor is suicidal, and what can I do to help?
Research has shown that people who are having suicide ideation, that who are in the process, they show some characteristics. One, they want to be alone. Yeah, when you have people who are showing that signs, you're talking to them, no, I don't even want, I'm not interested in all these things.
Is that a change in their behavior? Because there are some introverted persons like myself. I can be alone 72 hours and I'm okay.
It's different because you'll be reading some kind of strange, you know, they will exhibit some strange attitudes, strange behaviors. They want to be alone, and they will be saying to you that I'm even fed up of life. So when you begin to see people who are talking about such things, then you mark, and then you try as much as possible to help them. And
How do we help? Very importantly.
very important. The truth is, sometimes a little word can change people's life. That's why every one of us, we are like our brother's keepers. We should go to that. You know, we are friends now, but sometimes we are not close.
True.
And sometimes when we are close, there is an existing emotional distance in us.
Yes.
How close are you to Mariah? When will you check on Mariah?
Not close at all.
She
Do you
doesn't check.
understand? How do you check on her emotional status?
Jumoke does not check on
us
anybody.
looking good, and then we have a kind of facade of friendship that we look at ourselves and hey, I'm good. When do you go now to her personally, deeper, and ask what she's going
May
through?
I quickly interrupt using my example again, and I know we have to go on a break quickly.
Okay.
I've had friends who try to check on me,
Okay.
but that's not my personality type.
Okay.
I want to be friends with you from afar,
Okay.
meaning that on the day I want to go out with you, we can hang out. Don't come into my
On the
personal
wrong
space.
man
You're
now.
asking something we don't know?
No,
Yes.
I've always been like that. I'm extremely introverted. I'm better with my books. And then when I want to socialize, I'd rather we go out. Don't come into my space. So if you now think that Jumoke is suicidal and come and knock on my door, like Tokpa came one day to my house and I had to warn her quickly. You and your children, I know you want to come and make me happy and laugh. I'm not sad. Go away.
All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll take some calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
All right. Thanks for staying with us. I think I've shared the story of when I was also suicidal. I mean, I was a bit younger. I think I was out of work. I was depressed. I wanted to be by myself. I didn't want anybody to talk to me. I was just frustrated. And one day carried my bag or something, and I just started walking away. Like, I'm done. I just started walking. I walked all the way to the express. I was just walking away. I didn't care. And it was while I was walking away, I was starting to remember my mother's voice telling me, you know,
Resilience.
I remember my mother talking to me. I remember that my mother believed in me. My mother trusted me. And that was what really brought me back home, because, okay, let me not let this woman down. So in that situation, there are a lot of young people out there, and I want you to talk to those young people out there who are frustrated by life. Their expectations from their parents, from family, from friends, from colleagues, and they're feeling like, I don't have anything else. I just need to take my life. There are young people doing that right now. What would you say to them, especially I know your NGO is working towards those kind of people. What would you say to those people right now?
Wow, I really want everybody to know that whatever you are going through right now is a phase, and it shall pass.
Right.
It's a curve, it's a bend, it's not the end. And I want to say something, and even to people who are watching all over the world and to our audience now, there are two things you do when you have your back against the wall. Two things. Audience, if you can say one, I'll tell you one. If you say two, I'll tell you two. Can I have a one? Let's go.
One.
Now, the first thing you do when you have your back against the wall is you can retreat. And when you retreat is when you retrace your step.
Yes.
Retreat is no defeat. You know, when you have a business that you're running and then the business just crumbles, it doesn't matter that you're a failure.
Yes.
You can go and re-strategize. Yes. I like the word re. It means you do it all over again.
Yes.
That's one. Two. The second thing is that walls are breakable.
Hey.
When you find your back against the wall, break the wall and move on. Break the wall and move on, because walls are breakable. And the truth is, when you are in a tunnel and it seems that there is no light at the end of the tunnel for you, create a spark where you are and use the light to move on. Thank you.
Your motivational speaking is good.
Good.
Come down to the basics.
Yeah.
My salary is 18,000.
Okay.
I'm a mobile policeman. I've not been paid in 7 months. Please, how do I break the wall?
Now, the truth is, now let me, it's a very practical question. Are there no policemen around who are still living? Just like Morayo said, death is unavoidable, but suicide is.
I'm saying
it's
how?
no
Okay,
option.
Let me help that. Let me help that question.
Okay.
Because I'm working. I have a salary. I saw a product called Tiger Nuts, and I started doing it. People don't want to sell pure water because you feel I'm a policeman, it's too big, and they know me as a constable, how can I be selling pure water? Fine, you can break that wall. Don't let's be realistic with our reality. He can get somebody to sell. You can buy bags, you can get boys who can help you sell. The point is that break that one, say, you know what, I have options. There are always options. When I was faced, let me give you my own example.
Okay.
I had nothing. I used to cry every single day. And when I went back home, I'm trying to remember very clearly now, I said I was going to apply to everywhere. I knew where I wanted to work. I didn't get that job. I applied everywhere. I was knocking on the doors. Do you know how I got my first job? I went to the office and said, I have an appointment with your MD. I went there. I told the guy, I have an appointment. Sorry, you don't have an appointment. I walked in there and I saw the MD and I put my CV on the table.
Wow.
He called me back a few hours later and gave me the job. Okay. So sometimes you have to just break the wall.
Break the wall.
All right. The people I see that have committed suicide are even millionaires. So the rich also cry. For me, it's not about poverty.
Yeah, it's
about your mental state.
Mental strength.
Can you cope? You can be rich and have issues. You can be poor and have issues.
Right.
It's about your mental state. So it's not about...
Your
Suicide is
emotional
rampant today because
psychology.
our parents no longer raise children who are resilient. I remember those days when you start something, my father would say, finish it. So I can't drop out of my diploma course. I finished it. I didn't get my degree. I made sure I made cutoff. I got a law degree. You don't start something and say, okay, no, it's not working. Let me just take second place. Finish it. That resilience is what gives you the drive in life to go on, push, and live that positive life.
Let me go to the audience. Let's see. Any stories here, any questions, your thoughts on suicide?
As an NGO coming out with land, live and not die, presently now we look at our environmental factors as things propelling us to committing suicide. But would you, like the small motivational talk you just gave here now, is within here and few that are watching, would you inculcate it into your activity to find time to call people together, maybe quarterly at you deem fit, to give this talk to them to calm everything they are passing through, because the more you hear, it calms you down.
So there's a thing you do with land. Tell us about that.
Yeah, basically what we do, the prime stuff that we do is support. We do that through a host of things. We reach out to people, through conferences, through pep talk, and then we have lines that are open for people to call in, and then we talk to people who are depressed. We talk to people who are having suicidal thoughts, who are prone to committing suicide. And then we want to go on tour in schools all over the country. We are trying to partner with the government, so we are saying it also live on here right now. So we want to partner with the government to see how we can move across the country.
So shout out to people like you who are doing what you're doing. Shout out to Sidiko Kitchen. She's been there. She almost had suicide abroad, and she came here and started a food kitchen to make sure that no matter what, the least she can do monthly is to provide food. So now we're doing weekly. Fantastic. Shout out to all those people who are helping out.
Tessie says nowadays it's all about individualism. We have abandoned communalism. Our self-centered attitude is eating into our system. Not until we abandon this attitude, we might be far from curbing suicide. Chibu says, Jumoke speaks the mind of the average Nigerian. Zoe says, I so feel you on being an introvert.
Let me take one more comment from the audience. Go ahead, please.
I think the problem of suicide is more of problem in the support system.
Okay.
Now, in the olden days, our people used to support each other.
Yes.
We have the extended family, we have people we can go to, we have friends that we can rely upon. But right now, it's like everybody to your tent, O Israel. And it's really affecting us.
Bad.
Like there's a case of one woman that I got to be involved with. The woman had 5 children. Then one of the children became ill. Now, on top of it, the girl went and had a relationship with somebody and gave birth to a baby, and the boy is not even responsible for it. And then the mama had to stop work to go and take care of the children and everything. So looking at it, I think, number one, we should go back to the support system.
You see, thank you very much for that comment. It's always easy to say let's go back, but it's difficult. It's a jet age. Everybody enters their house, closes their gates. There's criminality all over the place.
No,
how do we do this?
Let me move into the house. You just bring small things.
Let me let you come in here.
Yeah, that's why we are creating the awareness now. What has helped us thus far? Why are we throwing it in the trash can.
Right.
You know, they living together in colony, checking on each other.
Yes.
Why are we dropping that attitude?
Oh, guy, you can't come and check on me. I've just told you that. So there's a tweet that I think is pivotal. Our concept says, in those days, our parents used to have flexible time to tell stories, chat, come home early. But now we do all that online because they won't even come home on time. No time to discuss deeply. Everyone just keep walking around the clock. So family time is even very important. It's not about you, my neighbor, coming into my house.
No, it's when we talk about
my family in my house.
Your family is part of what we are talking about.
We have to run off. Let me let our guests have the last word. We have to run off. Any last words for us?
All right. I just want everybody to know that your life is so much more important than you could ever think or imagine of. Suicide is never an option. Celebrate life. Why take your life? Live and not die.
And also, thank you very much. Somebody in the audience actually gave all of you a pack of tissue. Thank you so much. One of you heard that somebody brought a pack of tissue for you, so you're going to go, at least you come around, you get gifts. Thank you so much for that.
And we got coasters.
And we got coasters. Yeah, somebody made this for us. We didn't get the name of the person.
Yeah, so that our mugs will stop making noise against
Thank you so much. We didn't get the name, but have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.